Every year, hundreds of runners from around the world make an annual pilgrimage to a destination 140 miles north of Nairobi. All the participants are up and ready for an early morning start, urged on by a large crowd of spectators, the excitement bubbling towards a carnival atmosphere. Race organisers had to shoo away a herd of elephants around the starting line moments before the runners gathered, pointing towards some of the unique challenges of organising a marathon within an area populated by some of the world's most diverse collection of wildlife. 7 o'clock on the dot, and the marathon begins in earnest. The Safaricom Marathon held in Lewa is now ranked among the top 10 toughest marathons in the world, and the only one held within a wildlife conservancy. The hundreds of fun runners taking part are all sponsored by corporate teams. The half marathon is an exclusive corporate team event and is virtually the life and breath of the marathon effort. Every year participation grows, and the previous year's funds collected record surpassed thanks to the overwhelming support of the different corporate organisations, joining hands to make the marathon a permanent fixture in their yearly calendar of activities. As runners' feet pound the dirt roads, raising a dust storm in a noble attempt that will lead them over a 42-kilometre route or a 21-kilometre for the half marathon, few may be aware of the significant impact they make towards the welfare of wildlife. Away from all the human activity, hidden in the vast 55,000-acre game reserve, a young rhino runs its own race against extinction. Only a month old, this baby rhino is a testimony to the resilient efforts that are being made to preserve Kenya's world-famous animal heritage. Found abandoned by its mother barely 4 days old, the infant rhino was nurtured and watched over to this stage by park ranger Lentungai. Lentungai, a veteran ranger, maintains round-the-clock surveillance of the baby rhino, developing such closeness that to the casual observer, it might be no different from a domesticated pet.
We share the same sleeping area with this baby rhino. I usually cover him with a blanket at night when he sleeps. He has 3 feeding times at night. Unlike humans, he cannot cry when he's hungry. So he usually nudges me to wake up because at times I sleep through his feeding time.
15 years ago, the black rhino population in Lewa stood at 13. Today, the black rhino population has risen steadily to an enviable number of 53. The Lewa Conservancy holds approximately 10% of the national rhino population. As a result of this success, Lewa Wildlife Conservancy has been able to carry out the translocation of the rhinos to other protected reserves, such as the Olpejeta and the Meru National Park, to boost populations there.
Yeah, we received a number of rhinos from Lewa, of which there before we didn't have white rhinos in Olpejeta. Actually, they have been an attraction to the tourists in Olpejeta because they are mostly in the plains and most of the tourists are enjoying.
The rhino is just one of the endangered species in Lewa. The other is the stunning Grevy's zebra, and the Lewa Conservancy holds 20% of the world's Grevy's zebra population.
I would definitely like to say a big thank you to Safaricom and to all the sponsors that come in behind this event. it's a great fun day, but deeper and behind that, it's making an enormous contribution to Kenya, to Kenyans, to the welfare of wildlife, linking the welfare of people to the welfare of wildlife. And it's a unique partnership and a circle that is growing from strength to strength every year.
Despite being home to large herds of rhino, elephants, buffalo, and a vast assortment of dangerous wildlife, the safety of the runners is maintained by a well-coordinated and experienced team of game rangers backed by a helicopter and spotter plane. The elite runners in the marathon field, amongst them world champion runners Paul Tergat, Robert Cheruiyot, Martin Lell and Catherine Dareba, have traditionally participated purely for a charitable cause, inspiring many to follow in their footsteps.
This is one of the many reasons, especially that gives our young athletes an opportunity to tune and discover their talents, and this is what actually we all appreciate, that if we could have more races in this country, we are going to produce more athletes.
This is my fourth time to do the Lewa International Marathon, and I find it growing each and every year, and I thank God for what He's doing, for all the sponsors and all those who organize, and how they keep on uplifting the standard of the community here, and also the conservation of the wildlife.
Well done, Henry.
Over the years, the proceeds from the marathon have made significant changes to individuals' lives in the northern rangelands. Inside a dimly lit manyatta, we find a mother tucking her little one to sleep under a treated net, assured that her young one will sleep peacefully and safely protected from the often fatal malaria virus. At Ilungwesi, treated mosquito nets have reduced rampant incidence of malaria.
Cases of malaria have really gone down. The nearest hospital is very far, and it used to be hectic rushing our children to hospital. Now with these nets, malaria is no longer a fatality in our homes.
Over 1,000 nets have been distributed to Ilungwesi community in an initiative to raise the level of home management of the disease.
I am well aware of the marathon in Lewa and the benefit that it is to us.
Another significant health development project is found at the Nanyuki District Hospital, where a donated respirator has greatly reduced the impact of infant respiratory distress syndrome that was frequent among young babies admitted to the hospital.
Nanyuki District Hospital serves a population of about 400,000 patients, the population. Otherwise, it covers even our neighboring districts, like from Timau in Meru, they serve all this way. From all the way from Kiganjo, Narumoro, they also come to this hospital. And then part of now like Kipia, they also come here.
Thanks to the funds raised from the marathon, the survival of infants during the first crucial days of their lives is guaranteed by the introduction of this vital equipment.
You can't miss a baby who has respiratory distress syndrome right from the time they are born. So they require that oxygen so much. So I want to thank you very, very much.
In neighbouring Isiolo District Hospital that caters to a population of 100,000 people, mothers who used to experience delivery and maternity difficulties have a reason to smile, as some of the earlier challenges that hospital experienced due to lack of equipment are now a thing of the past.
Ever since the marathon started, of course it has grown in terms of attendance and popularity, and even our hospital is also growing. We have been receiving a lot of medical equipments from the Lewa Marathon. As compared to the previous year, last year's donation was more.
Get you. Okay, water. How can you enter it? Yes. Hey Peter, you're ahead of Liz. You're ahead of Liz. In 2000 it was a very small race and maybe about 200 people, and now it's grown to over 1,000 runners today. A massive amount of audience, different organizations. We raised a lot of money. I believe this will be a record year of raising money because of the number of corporates that have entered, the number of sponsors that we have. So this race has grown, in popularity, worldwide. And more important for me, I think it's grown in popularity in Kenya. That corporations, Kenyan corporations have wanted to come here and sponsor the race, sponsor the employees to run the race. So for us, it's been a great time.
The Safaricom Marathon is run in extremely distressing climatic conditions, and it's a life-changing personal experience for many. Even though every runner runs their own race, every step made, every personal victory achieved translates into immense benefits for the communities living in this beautiful but challenging terrain. Indeed, at Kanyunga Primary School, we find a motto that summarizes the individual marathon experience. Forwards ever, backward never is a motto that aptly captures the advancement that the marathon has brought to the educational needs of schools in the area. Kanyunga Primary School is one of the 9 schools that benefits directly from the marathon fundraising efforts. The students were formerly housed in dilapidated structures, but today they're able to learn in a comfortable and equipped learning environment.
We in the Ministry of Education, Meru Central District, we are aware of the Lewa Education Trust, what is doing through the Safaricom Marathon. They are doing a wonderful job in our schools. Like Shoboiga, I went there, they found that they have already bought a desk. They are able to run classes. In fact, on the ground, if you go even right now, you find that there are classes going on due to the effort of Education Trust in support of the Safaricom Marathon. They have been able to buy computers. They have been able to put up kitchens in almost all the schools that they are really sponsoring. So they have really done a lot in terms of through the effort of the Safaricom Marathon, and we really appreciate as a ministry.
Every school charts out a 5-year plan in order of priority. Every school then gets a percentage of the marathon fund allocated to a specific activity, such as the building of permanent classrooms or for direct needs like the buying of stationery. At the end of every year, budgets are reviewed and evaluations conducted and adjustments made according to individual schools' needs.
Before, we were lagging very behind. We have moved from 176 miniscore up to 207 miniscore in the last year's examination. That shows that there is a very large progress in the school academically, and this is due to the facilities that we have managed to get from the Lewa Marathon.
The Safaricom Marathon at Lewa is a good example of how wildlife can contribute to a much greater cause than just its welfare through employment for those working directly in wildlife conservation. Groups in the northern communities have been encouraged to form group ranches and take advantage of their environments. These group ranches are practicing ecotourism and have their own lodges that accommodate tourists. Part of the marathon fund is distributed to these group ranches to help them run their projects. At Tasia Lodge, owned by Lekiruki community, the simple architectural design blends seamless with landscape that makes a night in the lodge an unforgettable experience. The views are simply stunning and endless.
What I would really see about Safaricom Marathon is that last year we received amount of money which was nearly 1.4 million. That's how I would say. We have been really making profit since we have started the project the year 2002. All the money that is really collected at the project here goes back and support the livelihood of the people at the community level, building pre-unit schools in the community level, dispensaries, make sure that we have dispensaries for the community members, cattle dips, and also putting up sub-springs for the water for the animals to have clean and secure water.
The other communities following a similar model are Ilngwesi in Laikipia and the Namunyak and Sera Conservancies in Samburu.
The community programs, the tourism is booming. Last year when we spoke, we had 3 community lodges. As we speak today, there's 1 new community lodge opening in 4 days' time. There's a new community lodge just being started. These are big investments. These are $500,000 investment that are going to be employing 30 or 40 people each. They're going to be generating significant money for the local communities, for Kenya. They're going to be a new tourist destination.
The enduring lesson of the Safaricom Marathon has been that the communities are key to the survival of the country's wildlife heritage. Without the support of the communities, sustainable wildlife will be greatly endangered by vested interests. The Safaricom Marathon at Lewa is now a model of success, showing how corporate organizations and individuals can come together to create sustainable and well-meaning charity events.
Oh, it was tiring. You try and work out and think it will be easy. It is equally tiring.
Oh, it was tough. It was tougher than last year.
Over 70 corporate organizations took part in this year's marathon, collecting millions of shillings in record earnings. It goes without saying that the corporate support is a crucial ingredient in making the marathon a continuing success story.
The great thing is when you're going through and you see, the people from Nokia Siemens, and then you pass somebody from one of the other corporate teams as well. I think it's great to see so many of the corporate teams here.
I had 2 teams in the course. This is Kenya Shell. We had 2 teams of 10 people each, a mix from the company and from outside. My first Lewa marathon. It was a great experience.
The race today was quite good, and of course all of us were running here for Standard Chartered Bank. We came 15 of us.
We are here representing battlers, and it is a good challenge for us.
The money that is going to be raised from here, we are going to support the communities around here in Samburu. And because it's in an organized manner, it's going to have far-reaching effects than, say, 1 Harambee or 2 Harambees.
So linking all of this are the people who have been here, the people who have run, the people who have run, the children running 5 kilometers, the ones who have run a half marathon. And there's even some still out there now, I saw from the plane, finishing the full marathon. It's those people, the efforts that they make in raising sponsorship, that are what this event is all about, and I respect them for it.
What is special about the Safaricom Marathon is that the focus is not on winning, but participation.
Again, I'm proud to say that we will be distributing 10% of the profits of this event to projects nationwide.
Though there are only 3 spots on the winner's podium, everyone in Lewa is essentially a winner.